Morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to us by Strike Gold Shave. This one here is called Honest Abe. Got the soap in the matching aftershave. Now I've got the link down below to Strike Gold Shave, but it's out of stock. At least the soap is on Strike Gold Shave, but I have a link also to Pastor's website where they have it in stock there if you're interested in picking up a jar of it. Now this one here, a lot of soaps are, they're set up for 4 ounces, but Strike Gold Shave, this one here is 5 ounces in this container here. And some of the scent notes that you might pick up, through using this soap is got it written down over here. You got tangerine, blood orange, patchouli, coffee, vanilla, ginger, mint, just to name a few that you might be able to pick up from there. My nose, the only thing I could actually single out and felt comfortable saying that I can smell tangerine. I can smell that part. The rest of it, it's well blended for my nose. Excuse me. And the got it whipped up here with a brush that Frank reknotted and freshened up the brush handle, whatnot. This is an Ever Ready. I think it's a 150. Yes. And that's what it looks like there on the bottom if you're kind of wondering. A lot of the shaving brushes, the vintage ones, will have something on the bottom. This one here didn't have that, just on the brush itself up top. Got it whipped up in a small bowl here that's got grooves in it, which does a good job of help holding the soap in there, as well as perhaps maybe help lather up just a little bit. Feather, the blade of the day is feather. This one here, if you haven't seen one of my previous videos, it's black, 5-piece. If it's yellow, it's probably a 10-piece. In other words, 10 blades to the container. But the blades are same, just a different size container. How many blades are in each one? And also, if you ever get one of like a quote-unquote sample pack that comes with a razor, sometimes there'll just be like 2 blades in that, and typically it's also black labeled also. Excuse me. So, shave of the day. This one here is a focused Tritok. This is the concave one. And if I had all 3 of them here together, you would understand why they mentioned that this one here is concave. It's ever so slight concave. This is the 52 model. 51, this base plate is flat all the way across. And the 53 is it's a slant and it's got just a slight twist. But all of these are relatively flat, and you can kind of see that the blade exposure is not a whole lot there. In other words, I guess you might say is somewhat different than what we're used to seeing. Like, for instance, here's a slant. You see how how it is quite a bit different. It's quite a bit different than what we're used to seeing. This one here is a prismatic from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. You can kind of see that how the base plate is, how it's curved, but this one is very unique in that it's relatively flat. It's got a slight concave contour to it, but relatively flat. And with that cap being as flat as it is, it does make it kind of interesting for shaving, in my opinion. The cap has got the bevel set for the angle, but even at that, I found the last time I used this that it is quite interesting. It's a different kind of shave, that's for sure. The 51 is considered to be the mild one. Next step up for some folks is it's considered that the concave is next in the step of aggression than the slant. But I found I have the slant and I have the concave here. And I found that the concave was more aggressive. With that being said, when we're talking about aggressiveness, that's just how it progresses through these models. I don't feel like this is an aggressive razor by any means. Yeah, so it just increases with aggressiveness, not that it's an aggressive razor. There we go. Not to mislead anybody. It's a relatively smooth, easygoing shaver. Like I say, probably the part that will be, it's so much different in the way that head is shaped. that a number of folks are just going to probably take a while get used to the angle. Even though it is beveled preset, it's not what I would consider what we're used to using. We, being folks that have been wet shaving for a moment. In other words, the two shavers I just showed, I guess you might say is a more of a traditional setup, where this one here is not. So like I say, it does make for an interesting shave. I smell tangerine without a doubt. Maybe the vanilla, maybe. My nose doesn't pick up coffee, but that's my nose. And if you follow me, my nose is, it's a little different. It doesn't work the best. But tangerine, it smells great. So once again, you kind of see how that's beveled right through there. That's the angle I'm going to try to maintain, but it is different. Like I say, the blade, of course, you can see that it's got a little bit of blade exposure, but I don't feel that it's aggressive. If anything, it's a smooth shave right now. But like I say, it does take a little bit to get used to the angle. With that flat cap. Flat cap, in other words, to me, it makes a world difference on maintaining the angle. It takes I guess you might say, a little bit more effort. Pay attention to it and get accustomed to how it's designed. Of the three, I found that this one here was the easiest to use. I'm not sure why. 51, the mild one, shaved just fine, but it is mild. It is mild. But this one here, like I say, when it comes to aggression, the blade feel, it's there, you can feel it, but it's not, like super noticeable, overwhelming, or anything of the sort, even with a feather blade. So if you enjoy feather blades, but sometimes in your other shavers it feels a little too aggressive, too sharp, whatever. In other words, aggressive blades in this one here work out great. It does not feel like a feather blade, in other words. Guess you might say this particular shaver tames the feather blade. Because it does not feel like a feather blade in there at all. It is nice when my nose is working, or at least pick up some of the scents of the soap. Also, I know what else I was going to mention. If you're visiting a website and they happen to be out of stock or something, and they have the ability for you to send them, let them know that you're interested in the product, and they'll send you a notification when it's back in stock. That helps that person know how many people are interested in a particular item, because if they don't know how many people are really interested in it, they may think that maybe there's not enough interest in it to restock it. Just something to think about. Even though you may or may not be able to buy it at the time when it comes back in stock, but they do need to know that you're interested in getting it, because in the off chance that you are able to buy it, then there you are. But we know how life gets in the way sometimes. It's a lightweight shaver. This shaver weighs 1.4 ounces. Not a whole lot. It's pretty light. Matter of fact, a lot of folks' shavers that are around, well, if they're aluminum, they're right around the 1.4 ounces, or right around an ounce. Don't weigh a whole lot. Pretty lightweight. For those that don't like heavyweight shavers. And also the shavers made in Italy. We're so accustomed, I think, sometimes that, for instance, we get a lot of stuff from China. Uh, every once in a while there is something that's made elsewhere. This is a really nice shave. Like I say, of the three, this is the one here is my favorite. Scent still just coming right off of the brush. Lathers up pretty easy too. Doesn't take very long. I have to say, it does take longer than Barbas, the shaving cream. That shaving cream whipped up real quick. I don't know if it was just because I hit just the right amount of water, because it was the first time doing it. I didn't practice with it or check it out before the shave, and it just lathered up without a problem. Real quick like. I'm not saying that it took very long to lather this one up, but I was just amazed at how quick Barbas lathered up. Shaving cream, that is. I can feel the blade, and there's a little bit of feedback, but it does not feel aggressive at all, even with a feather blade. I think a lot of the feedback that I'm hearing also is being amplified the fact that the base plate is not only thin but aluminum. It almost feels like it's echoing through the handle. I say it does take just a moment to get used to holding that angle the way that you need to, because just the way that cap is so flat. It is to me, it's really interesting when you start looking at the, I guess you might say, the evolution of a double-edged razor, and how much they've changed over the years, or in some cases, just to the eye, they may look a lot alike, but when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, they have changed just a bit, not only what they may be made out of, but the tolerances of them. This one here, you load the blade, there's not a chance that this blade's not going to line up right. It just lines up perfect every time. It's pretty tight tolerance. I guess you might say you got to give them credit for that sort of situation. The post is about standard in length. It does seem like it threads just fine. It's what the cap looks like on the underside, and you'll notice on the ends there's just maybe just tiny bit in the way of ears, but it's in other words, machine marks or anything like that, there's not any. There's the blade. You can kind of tell that it kind of sticks right in there with the rinse some of that off. Sticks right in there with some of that lather, and it creates a suction, so I'm being kind of careful getting that blade off of there. And you kind of see why, because the blade, like I showed before, it is relatively flat. It does have just a bit of a curve to it, but not a whole lot. And like I say, the blade, it just sits in there just perfect. Alright, I'm going to check it out and see what kind of stinging I got going on. It was a pretty smooth shave. I didn't feel like I got anything off. Got lather way up there too. I think I maintained the pressure alright. Got just a little bit right there. That seems to be the only spot. These are pretty smooth shavers. It's just a excuse me, a bit of learning curve maintaining that angle, because most of us are used to riding the cap as well. On that angle, we're used to using that cap, and this one here is so different. guess you might say it's a keep on stressing how flat that cap is. It does make a difference on your shave in that, you know, how you maintain your angle. Unscented witch hazel, but it is mentholated. Going to have a nice cooling effect today. The weather here, the temperatures been right around below freezing at night, but during the day they get kind of warm, and I think down towards at least what they're forecasting now is near 60 around Friday, I think it is. We're talking about some pretty nice weather, that's for sure. This is a glass bottle. I think it's, yeah, it's 100 milliliters. There's one of the, I don't know if the light will catch it, the cap on the inside that I talk about from time to time, how it has a post and will go down into the restrictor, help keep what's inside. Not a real big restrictor there, so it does take a little bit of effort to get some aftershave out. For some folks, that is how you say, a big thing. In other words, it does just come gushing out and you pour a whole lot more than what you intended to, and it goes everywhere. Of course, then again, you know, the bathroom smells nice. It does, boy, it just... Now, with the aftershave, as it goes on and it's drying down, I do pick up the vanilla a lot more than what I do the tangerine, like I was off the soap. Just a bit of the tangerine, more of the vanilla than tangerine, and maybe now just a touch of the coffee as it's drying down on my face. Once again, though, had a great shave. This was a pretty easy going shave. If you're interested in something like this, I do have a link down below if you want to check it out. There's more than one website. The one that I got mine from is Superior Shave. I think it's Italian Barber also carries it, and maybe, can't remember for sure if West Coast Shaving does or not, but anyway, there's a few places you can go hunt this down, but I got mine there at Superior Shave. And yes, it does come with different color handles. Oh, this smells great. Had a great shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and smooth shaves to you.